restaurant, gym, and spa. Our delivery vans and bikes are always on time. Cater for all events, wedding reception, bridal shower, birthday parties, and all other events.
When you want to eat at the right place or the perfect place to have a good health, it's a restaurant.
Our ultra-modern spa with professional massage therapists.
My name is Prophet Azeke Asante and you be
Saturday karaoke with DJ Everlasting. Sunday live acoustic music with Ivo Manifest and our local dishes. And pool free in our jacuzzi. Kid Eyiwa restaurant in Accra behind Achimota Melcom.
Herbal and Skin Clinic. One would nam abefo quite so esa and yarwebi to say stroke, diabetes, typhoid, infertility, bone injuries, any yaria ahudwina. Sabon honam any enyarwan stretch marks, enkocha, one more eternity, one more OPD. Omo lab baby ayehwe nipa ye moja ene ye dwonso e wo pese wo so ete relief fatigue ni nyina ye no eye ho adwuma wo hwe ye kira kwan a wo behu yen e wotema committee 11 general hospital Pantempono a bra wa pa Shell filling station ne ho pepepe obetimi afre ye e wo 0508261725 and 0244884793
Alma Herbal and Skin Clinic eye adwuma adwo da kosi fieda 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. When your number stretch marks hamu, and as a 5 web my how, Alma Herbal and Skin Clinic, a bit to Maya and Yamidi Mebeco.
Alma Herbal and Skin Clinic, young boot tire and Ghana for Apomuding.
Hello, wonderful people. It's another beautiful evening on the show today. My name is Gabriela. You know, we always bring you interviews that will make you learn a lot and inspire you. Today's guest on the show did a recent video on social media and is trending all over. Let's look at the video. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Reverend Dr. Nanayaa Owusu Prempeh. Just a little over a week ago, my nephew, Nanayaa, 27 years old, he fell in the bathroom, and his father, Pastor Chris, called the ambulance service 112. Okay, so the gentleman asked him, okay, which region are you calling from? Which area? And so many questions. I thought this ambulance service have a GPRS that's supposed to know where exactly you're calling from, but that's not the case. So many questions. 6 minutes later, the boy is still on the ground. So he calls me. He's like, sis, we have an emergency. Can you help? Okay, so I called the ambulance service 112. They started asking me questions. I said, please, if you can, take this number. Call my brother, pick up his son. He's lifeless, lying down there, please. It's an emergency. So long story short, 30 minutes later, the boy is still lying down on the floor in the bathroom. So my brother gets neighbors, they pick up the son. He drives him lying on his mother's lap in the back of the car. They drive him to Kolebu Teaching Hospital. I get there myself, and first thing, I want sanitizers to wash my hands. They have no sanitizer at the emergency room at Kolebu Teaching Hospital. No sanitizers. Fine. The doctor comes out, says that my nephew is there, we should take him to the mortuary, just like that. I said, no way. No way. Don't you have to check his vital signs? Don't you need some parameters? Don't you need to give him some kind of a shock to try and resuscitate him? I mean, would you be able to just look at the boy there and just say, take him to the mortuary? No. I said, please, can you bring him inside and check on him? Oh, we have no beds. So you have no beds. That's why you're telling me to take my nephew to the mortuary, because you have no bed. So I said, please put him on a stretcher. They put him on a stretcher. We take him to the back. And I said, can you please check his oxygen level? They checked his oxygen level on his finger. I saw some activity there. I said, no, my nephew is not dead. Please give him some oxygen. So then they call another doctor. She said, oh, your nephew is dead. I said, my nephew is not dead. Please try and give him some oxygen. Oh, you're asking for too much. Why didn't you just ask for a shock on his chest rather than an oxygen? I said, please, my nephew is not dead. Can you give him some oxygen? Oh, it's very expensive. We don't have enough. We are waiting for an emergency. You're waiting for an emergency? What is it that I have in front of you now? Isn't that enough emergency that you can try and resuscitate this young man? So they're like bringing other doctors to come and convince me that my nephew is dead. I have no problem accepting the death of a family member, but you have to do the right thing. You need to check his vital signs. I made them to check his sugar. It was 9.4. I said, you didn't even check his pressure. You didn't check anything. You just opened his eyes, looked in the eyeball. You said his eyes have dilated. That's enough for you to pronounce someone dead? Come on, guys. Listen, I am the one who is going around and preaching the diaspora platform. Come back to Africa. Come back to Ghana. Come and stay in Africa. People don't want to come because they know that the least thing they're going to lose their lives. Ambulance never shows up. Doctor comes and looks at the eye and say the man is dead. Please. We know people who go into coma, they come back. We know people who are forced into morgues, who are not dead. You don't have to just sit down and accept these. Please, when you go to the doctor's office, when you go to the hospitals, you must demand for what is rightfully yours. I expect them to do more than just looking at the dilated eyes to tell me my nephew is dead. That's not enough grounds. There must be more parameters that you have to check for, which either gives you a more conviction that the person is dead, or you have enough grounds to put oxygen on him or to do something better. But please, I thought that emergency rooms are for emergencies. But you're telling me that because you see so many dead people, anyone who comes there with weakness or with no life there is dead. You can bring the life back if you take time to study the body, the person. You can bring life back. I'm begging you. Frontliners, we love you. You know how much we appreciate you. But you have to do what you need to do. You don't have to wait for someone to beg you before you do what you have to do.
Welcome back. This is still the Noble Woman Show. The show is proudly brought to you by C Rent Car Rentals. If you need a car to rent for any occasion, you can call C Rent Car Rentals. Alna Herbal and Skin Clinic. They treat all kinds of skin diseases. You can locate them at Tema Community 11, right adjacent to the Community 11 filling station, Iowa House. If you're looking for that spa, that restaurant, that beautiful place to give yourself a treat, Iowa House is the best place to visit. You can locate them at Achimota, right behind the Achimota Melcom. Today on the show, we'll be talking to a woman who has made a lot of impact. I won't introduce her, she will introduce herself because she has done a lot of things. And she is also a woman of God. We are going to be talking to Reverend Dr. Nanayaa Owusu Prempeh. Welcome, Doctor, to the Noble Woman Show.
Thank you, Pastor Gabriela.
It's been a long time.
Yes.
I've been a prodigal child.
You have been a very prodigal daughter. And I'm happy to see you. You're looking very well, as beautiful as ever.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're also still looking 16.
Oh, you see, you don't want to grow, which I don't want to grow.
Okay, we just looked at a video of you that is trending on social media about your nephew, about how he was treated in the hospital. What made you do that video?
Okay, so I thank you very much for the opportunity, and thank you for having me on this beautiful show. I want to say to the Lord that I'm very happy that I am alive and you are alive, and those who have the opportunity to view this show are alive. You know, life is a mystery, but only unto God. My nephew, his name is Nanayaa. He was supposed to be 28 this past June, but fate has it that it didn't happen. The video I shared on my YouTube channel was intended for me to just express my feelings, my emotions, my experience. It was not intended to vindicate or to indict or to do anything to any particular person. Ayayi's death gave us no sign at all. My father was ill, not like totally ill, but he wasn't too well after he had a procedure. So that the after effect of the procedure is what actually took him away. But Ayayi was a bumpy, outgoing, sporty young man. And he gave us no warning at all. No warning. We were hoping that the ambulance would come because we know that the ambulance is equipped to help emergency situations. And that is why we didn't take him immediately to the hospital, because I have people attacking me that you know better, you should have taken him immediately. But the fall was such that we didn't know if it was an aneurysm or anything like thrombosis, which you can shake him in a way and you make it worse. And we decided not to do that, but rather wait for the ambulance, because the ambulance could help save him. And because it didn't show up, we eventually had to take him.
The way you were received, the reception at the hospital by the doctors, do you think it's a governmental cause or it has got to do with individual attitude?
You see, Gabby, I don't get it. I'm a corporate person. I've done some education in management, and I've also taken programs in governance, corporate governance. Institutional malfeasance is a disease in Africa, and I think that anyone who thinks my family should be blaming the government has to think again. Let me ask you a question. If you are of age, you go to driving school, you are taken to DVLA, you are tested, and you are issued a driver's license. If your father purchases a car for you, and you go and drink and drive, and you smash the car or you kill someone with the car, would it be fair for the police to hold your father responsible for buying the car for you? No. Your father will be held responsible if you had not had a license and he purchases a car for you and tells you to go drive in town. That will be very irresponsible. But the government has put the right directives and measures in place. Owusu is an institution which is a limited liability company. They have a board, they have management, they have supervisors, they have staff, they have regular staff. So if the final person or the provider who is doing the last mile solution provision, who is providing care to the client, fails to meet their expectation, it is the institution that must take care of them. It's not the government. I don't know why anybody thinks I should be angry at the government. If there is anything I have to say to this government, I will salute the president for bringing ambulances to every constituency. Because if every president had brought ambulances, we wouldn't have a problem with ambulance shortages in the first place. So this government is not to be blamed for a doctor providing service and being negligent. No.
Dr. Nanayaa, usually people working in government sectors, they have the notion that this is not private work, it's for the government, so they do what they please. That's what they usually say. So your penna, that's what they do. So what would be your advice to such people working in governmental organizations?
You see, when you decide to live your life to please just yourself, you become a selfish person. I think that supervision has to increase. The experience that my family had at Kolebu is an eye-opener. And rather than Kolebu coming back to defend themselves, I was hoping that they will sit up and the people who were working that day, they will tell you they are part of the story. But if you truly want to fix this, you call me, you call my family, and you find out how we can work together
to save other people's life. My nephew is gone. We couldn't save his life. I'm not pointing fingers at you that you killed him or I killed him or God killed him, whatever. He's gone. So one can't enjoy fire. What I say? And I spoke because I think I have my right to speak out. I wasn't attacking anybody. Somebody who was going through a stroke, he had to sit in a chair for 1 week because they couldn't find a bed for him. And the doctor comes to tell him that, don't worry, this place, somebody will die very soon, I'll give you a bed. And truly to his word, the man sat in the wheelchair for 1 week and somebody died and they put the man on the bed. How can a doctor, the man said, my sister, if anybody says you're lying, let them call me. He just came to me to tell me a story. I've heard so many stories. You know, so it's not like I'm making this up. And it's not like nothing is happening. Something is wrong somewhere. And people have to be held accountable. And I know that if you don't have a heart for nursing, you shouldn't be there. You shouldn't be there because people will come expecting you to have a heart for them. For you, you have seen so many emergencies, so this is like any other emergency. For them, this is their worst nightmare. So have a heart for them. Let them feel like you care about them. This is all we are asking. But my sister who comes after me, she has a horror story when she was pregnant with her son. And when the midwife tells her, "Oh, dear, when somebody is in labor, and the midwife tells her this, sorry, brah. I mean, how can a midwife say this to someone? I mean, even if you have a problem in your house, don't bring it onto your job. Let's take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Welcome to a Yiwa restaurant, gym, and spa. Our delivery vans and bikes are always on time. Cater for all events, wedding reception, bridal shower, birthday parties, and all other events.
When you want to eat at the right place or the perfect place to have a good health, it's a Yiwa restaurant.
Our ultra modern spa with professional massage therapists.
My name is Prophet Asake Asante Shesunsuma, and you be a kind of successful but the truth is
Saturday karaoke with DJ Everlasting. Sunday live acoustic music with Ivo Manifest and our local dishes. And cool free in our jacuzzi. Kit Eyiwa restaurant in Accra behind Achimota Melcom.
Nanayaa, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? About myself. I was born on September 21, 1967. So I was born in a cottage, which is far from a village. So I tell people that if where you were born can influence what you become, I wouldn't be where I am, because where I was born, there was no doctor around, no nurse, far in the bush. My mom was in the farm. I was born under some palm tree somewhere, miles and miles away from a hospital, and I wasn't supposed to make it because of the issues surrounding my birth. But because man is not God, He has brought me this far. I will be 53 in September this year, and I give all the glory to God. For those who have been buying my coffin every year, God has disappointed them. God has disappointed them. I went to the Institute of Languages. I speak 9 languages. Yes, I speak 3 international languages. Obviously, English is one of them because English is not my mother language. So English, French, Spanish, which are the international languages, and then I speak local. I speak 6 of them. And so I did bilingual secretaryship in the beginning. I worked with the UN FAO for a while, and then I worked with GOIL. I was seconded to the World Bank project at Ridge. And then from there, I went to Novotel.
So I was in Novotel for a while, and I actually helped my boss to. We hired about half of the staff in Novotel in the late 80s, and so from there I got married, and I went to the United States of America. So I went to the US, and I continued my education there. I did a lot of management and IT. My first degree was in information systems, and I did e-administration. Instead of administration, this is e-administration, which is administration electronically. And so I did that, and I've done a lot of education, trust me, Jadi. I mean, I'm to say, yeah, so it was during my time as president for GISPA that we installed the Ghana Internet Exchange at Kofi Annan Center. So when you go to Kofi Annan Center, you'll see that there is a room that is holding the servers for the Ghana Internet Exchange, which localized the email system. Because before we built that exchange server, if you send an email to me in Yahoo, those days we didn't have Gmail, it was just yahoo.com. So the email was Yahoo or AOL, American Online. It will go to the servers in the US before it comes back, even though we are sitting together like this. So during my tenure as president of the Ghana Internet Service Providers Association, when we installed the Ghana Internet Exchange, we localized email. So the servers here will capture it, and respond to it instead of the servers in the US. I mean, this is all IT stuff, so, so at least, even if I didn't do anything, I localized under my leadership the email system in Ghana. And many of the neighboring countries took over the Internet Service Providers Association. They took over the name. So Kenya took it, Kenya Internet Service Providers Association, and then other countries. And so because I led it here in Ghana. And you see, I have come to see that in this world, you don't get what you deserve, you get what you ask for. And people have decided to cover the things that I did in the IT industry. The IT history in Ghana can never be completed if they don't mention my name. I'm telling you honestly. Because even for duty to be scraped off computers, it was my voice. My voice on the airwaves, on radio, on TV, always hammering it. I mean, you don't manufacture computers here, and when people are bringing them down, you put so much GV on it.
But throughout your journey in life, have you or did you ever get to a point where you nearly gave up upon yourself?
Giving up is really not part of my life. The only time that I will give up something is if that's the last option. No, I'm a fighter, I'm a hustler, I work for everything, and I always see the positive things even if something is negative. Because the Bible has told me that all things work together for my good. So anything that is designed to come and destroy me, I still look at the positive thing that will come out of it. And I don't take anything negatively. I don't. Anything that I stop is because I choose to stop. It's not because the thing was too difficult for me and I couldn't do it.
The little you said about yourself, it looks like you've achieved a lot, but definitely you go through some challenges. So from your own point of view, what is the most challenging thing about being a woman?
The most challenging thing about being a woman, from my view, is loving a man who does not appreciate you. It's very challenging, especially if you are a vocal woman like me, a woman who doesn't, a woman who voices out. Anytime there is an issue in a relationship, people will say, "Aobana." Do you understand? Especially If you're married to a man who is quiet, who is the exact opposite of you, you are a loudspeaker, he is a mute button. The moment there's an issue in the relationship, people judge you without listening to you. They judge you without hearing your heart. They judge you by their preconceived opinion about you. And it makes it difficult for women to enjoy their lives because they are always thinking, oh, even if the marriage is abusive, if the relationship is torturing them, they are thinking about keeping the family together. Oh, I don't want anyone to think my husband has left me. I don't want anyone to think I've failed in marriage. I don't want anyone to think I couldn't keep my family together. So you become like a doormat. You become like nobody. Your self-esteem goes low because you want to humble yourself to the extent where humility cannot even describe you, so that the marriage can be together. So the hardest thing for a woman who is an achiever and wants to keep a marriage and keep the family together is loving a man who is not loving you back and not treating you the way a woman must be treated, or not even believing you when you are telling them the truth. It's difficult. I've seen women, strong women, women of God, professional women, women who are very proactive and assertive, who have lost their marriages, not because they are bad women, not because they are bad mothers, not because they don't have time for the man or have time for their family, but because they have not been understood. They are not understood. And because of that, the man sometimes gets influenced by his family, by his friends, by his own ego, and they cannot keep the marriage, they cannot keep the family. So if you are such a woman and you are listening to me, you are a woman of God, or you are a professional woman, or you are a good woman. You have a family, you have children, you have a husband, and it is falling apart. You are doing everything you can to keep the marriage, to keep the family, and it's still falling apart. And you have lost the relationship. Don't kill yourself over it. Don't. God knows your heart. God rewards the heart. He doesn't reward marriage. He doesn't reward relationship. He rewards your heart. Make sure that you have a pure heart towards the man, a pure heart towards your children. It's only a matter of time. You can never hide the truth. The truth will come out. You haven't done something, they are putting it on you that you did it. Don't worry. God will fight your battle for you. Because don't go around spoiling the man's name. Don't go around neglecting the children. No, love the children. Do what you have to do as a mother. If they don't like you, they don't come back to you, they're calling you names, they don't call you, they don't show you love, don't worry about it. Nobody can take the fact that you carried them up to 9 months. Nobody can take that away from you. It is only time. God will heal you. God will restore your joy. God will restore your love. God will give you a man who will comfort you, who will love you, who will treat you like the queen that you are. Don't fight the battle. God will fight it for you. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, the Son of the living God. May God be merciful unto you. Amen.
It's been a very educative moment here today with Dr. Nanayaa Owusu Prempeh. Thank you so much for staying with us today on the show. See you soon.